This week we have Mercury the Messenger, ruler of thoughts and communications, moving into creative and compassionate Pisces. All of this, an empowered moment and more in my new intuitive energy forecast for the week of Monday, February 10th through Sunday, February 16th, 2025. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, here to do your intuitive energy forecast for the week of February 10th through the 16th. For this week, we're going to be using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. This will be the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice. I kind of dug into my other decks here to find something new. We're going to be using the Moonology Oracle cards, and this particular deck is by Yasmin Boland. So before we get into looking at our stones of choice or talking about the astrology for the week, let's go ahead, close our eyes, relax our bodies, and clear our minds. Take a deep breath, and let's do an empowered moment. So starting out by visualizing golden white light of peace and love and comfort and safety all around you. This is the golden white light of protection and guidance, healing, and divine messages. And as you see, sense, feel, or just know that you're surrounded in that golden white light. Taking a deep breath and breathe it into every cell of your body. And as you exhale, relaxing and letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs in this moment. Finding peace and balance. Silently calling in your angels and guides, master guides, and teachers of the highest vibration of light, because this week we have a beautiful energy with Mercury the Messenger moving into compassionate, loving, creative, spiritual Pisces. And this energy is perfect for using our increased and enhanced psychic abilities, our higher intuition, coming up with creative ideas, imaginative thoughts that can lead to beautiful visions, which eventually become manifest in our lives. This is an energy of compassionate and loving communication, caring, nurturing, flowing energy within the mental realm of thoughts, ideas, perspectives, and interactions with other people. We're merging the logical mind with the intuitive mind. And when we merge these two aspects of our mind, we can come up with wondrous things, miraculous things, magical things. The first part of manifestation is to envision, imagine, visualize those things that you would like to create into reality. So envision just one thing in this moment that you'd like to create within this next week, month, year. See it clearly with color and details, but yet be open enough to allow universe or spirit to come in and bring forth even more magic, to expand it in even new and different ways. In other words, release any attachment to this creative visualization that you hold, because the universe may bring you something even more miraculous and magical. So take in a deep breath and breathe in the essence of that magical vision that you're holding on to. And as you exhale, blow it out with the intention that you're freeing that energy, that intention, that mindset, that vision out to the universe, where it can be made manifest in that way or something better. Taking one last deep breath. And when you're ready, exhale. You can open your eyes, returning to this time and place and space. And let's go ahead and take a look at our stones of choice. These are special intention pendants of choice. And based on some of the astrology this week, I thought we needed a little bit of grounding. So at least a couple of these stones at least are going to be helpful for us grounding that kind of mental energy. And this is one of them. So this is black tourmaline. So this powerful black tourmaline is wrapped in silver wire. It's Reiki charged with the vibration of master number 22, which is the number, a master number, which is the proper use of power on the earthly plane. The qualities of Pluto are infused into this black tourmaline, planet of transformation and transmuting your own shadow side and other lower vibrational energies. The element of earth for restoring harmony to the root chakra and being grounded. And this one has the energies of Archangel Michael, Archangel of protection and removal of all lower vibrational energies and negative attachments. All right, and then stone number 2 here is this beautiful abalone shell. And this one, abalone shell can be different colors. This one happens to be kind of tan and brown, a little bit of white in it. And it's actually related to, because abalone shells come from the ocean, so it's actually related to water, but to me it has kind of a grounding effect as well because of the color of this one. It's wrapped in silver wire. It's Reiki charged with the vibration of master number 11, the number of the light worker and visionary, and the number that brings balance and heightened connection to the psychic senses. The energies of Neptune are in this one, planet that brings a connection to the waters of the ocean for heightened creativity, fluidity, and imagination. This one has the activation of the crown chakra, third eye chakra, and heart chakras for opening to higher awareness, increased intuition, and opening oneself to unconditional love. And the guidance and assistance of Archangel Michael, again, for protection and to clear away lower energies. And also Archangel Raziel is infused into this one to help us to tune into divine magic and alchemy. And then our last stone of choice, not necessarily as grounding, but yet actually the energies infused into it are a little grounding. So here we go. Powerful and beautiful. It's called K2. It's the letter K and the number 2 is what this one is called. And this one's wrapped in silver wire and Reiki charged with the vibration of master number 22, which is the number of the master builder. And so with that master number 22, there is a sense of grounding here. The essence of the planet Neptune, which is not grounding, the planet of spiritual connection and higher dimensional awareness. But this one also has the planet energy of Saturn, the great manifester, and the bringing of energies into manifestation. So again, we kind of got this combination of grounding and not grounding. The element of earth, which helps to ground energy and vision into our third dimensional reality. Activation of the third eye chakra for clairvoyance and psychic insight. And this one also has Archangel Michael's energy infused into it for protection, removing obstacles, and to accomplish the next step on one's highest and most important destiny path. So again, our stones of choice are going to be the black tourmaline. This one's just kind of a little one, but you can see that it would make a nice little pendant. It's about the size of the pendant I have on. Whoops. Ooh, I almost dropped it. And then the second one is the abalone shell. I wish you could get a better idea of the color of that. Again, it's slightly larger than the black tourmaline, but still small. And this one is the K2. And it's got that light blue kind of turquoise throat chakra colors, and then it's got like the white the white part of the stone as well. So there's our K2. All right, so let's talk about the astrology for the week. So on Monday and Tuesday, the 10th and 11th of February, we've got both Mercury, the messenger, the planet that rules the mental realm. Mercury rules thoughts, ideas, perceptions, perspectives, communications, all forms of like rational thinking. And Mercury in Aquarius on Monday is challenging Uranus, the Great Awakener, the planet of liberation, freedom, change, redirection, individuality, rebelliousness, expecting the unexpected. That happens on Monday. And Tuesday, we follow that up with the Sun in Aquarius. And the Sun rules our sense of ego, our self-expression, how we shine our light, also our individuality. And it is challenging Uranus on Tuesday. So both Mercury and the Sun are in Aquarius. Aquarius is a fixed sign. So it's stubborn in its energy. So stubborn in how we're thinking, how we're perceiving, the ideas that we have. Mercury and Aquarius can be pretty fixated on certain things. The Sun, our ego and self-expression, again, this is our personality, the Sun, is also in Aquarius. So this is more of the individuality, the rebelliousness, the uniqueness that we hold, beating to the beat of our own drum. But yet both of those planets are in a challenging connection to Uranus, about sudden, unexpected happenings, redirections, revelations, aha moments. And Uranus too, about freedom and liberation, breaking free of something just really unusual, odd, different, weird, unexpected, that kind of happens and comes in. And Uranus is also in Taurus. It's been in Taurus for a little while now. And Taurus is also a fixed sign. So when you have these planets both in fixed signs and they're challenging one another, it really almost like rips something away. It rips this idea that we have away, this way of looking at or perceiving something. It's like all of a sudden it's been redirected or changed. But because we were so fixated on whatever the situation or circumstance or idea or knowledge or whatever the circumstance is, it becomes a little bit more shocking. And in fact, Uranus rules shocking things. So don't be surprised if Monday and Tuesday there's shocking things that occur either in your personal life or in the collective that really shake you to your core and bring maybe a little bit of anxiety because both Uranus, which Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, where Mercury and the Sun are. So we've got all this Aquarian/Uranian energy, which is kind of electrical in nature. It's like having your finger in a light socket, okay? So it's this electrical kind of energy, and when they come together, it's going to be, again, this kind of shocking, like if we did actually stick our finger in a light socket, it may shock us, in fact. So it brings this shocking revelation, this shocking unfolding of events, these things that are unexpected. This can even be about earth changes too. I know there's been some increased earthquake activity, volcanic activity, and things like that in different areas of the world. So, Uranus, as well as that Aquarian energy, could bring, again, an unexpected, sudden, out of the blue earth change event, a collective world event, or even, again, in your own personal life, something that's just you maybe didn't see coming, that's just a sudden, unexpected. Now, the only other thing that's happening this week that we'll talk about, the moon obviously is moving through the signs of the zodiac and connecting to different things every day. But the only other planetary thing besides the moon that's going on is that Mercury, the messenger, the one that we've been talking about in Aquarius, challenging Uranus. But by Friday, Mercury, the planet that rules the mental realm, is leaving Aquarius and moving into Pisces. Now again, Mercury is mental, logical, analytical, but Pisces is intuitive, creative, imaginative. So our mind becomes a little bit more flowing, a little bit more, or should be a little bit more in the state of surrendering and allowing and the imagination and listening to our intuition. We need to merge logic and intuition with Mercury and Pisces. And Mercury is going to be in Pisces until March 3rd. So from February 14th, which happens to be Valentine's Day, it's a perfect energy for Valentine's Day here in the United States because Mercury, the planet of communication, will be more loving and compassionate and forgiving and, just very soft in Pisces. And while it's only there until March 3rd, it's only there until March 3rd for the first go round because Mercury is going to go into a retrograde cycle a little bit later on in March. And then by the time it retrogrades, turns back to direct motion, Mercury will be in Pisces again from April 16th until May 10th. So we're going to have a second time period of April 16th through May 10th with Mercury being in Pisces. That time in between March 3rd and April 10th, it'll have retrograded back into Aquarius. So we'll talk about that more as we do the monthly intuitive energy forecast for March and probably again for April. So that's a little bit about the astrology. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides for the week. So we start out, the first card is the Two of Mental, and that's what it's actually called. This suit with the blue border in the Psychic Tarot is the mental suit. And it actually says mental conflict at the bottom. So this is like the Two of Swords. In the Two of Swords, the traditional Two of Swords, you usually see a woman that's blindfolded, okay? And so it's like she's not wanting to see something or she doesn't see something clearly. So here again, we've got some mental conflict. We've got this person and most of him looks whole and balanced, but we've got this little corner of the mind here that's looking at something from a different perspective, right? The red could be more about that root chakra of a lack of security, a lack of stability, a lack of feeling grounded, just feeling unsure and uncertain about whatever's going on in his or her life, or what's going on in the world too. That can definitely be part of it. So there's some mental conflict going on. And that really, to me, speaks of the Mercury in Aquarius challenging or squaring Uranus and Taurus on Monday the 10th. So we're being challenged in our thought processes and in our ideas and in our perspectives about what's going on. We might be also challenged in our communication with other people. And it would be mostly, to me, one-on-one communication because it's the number 2. So we have 2 people here. So whether it's you and your significant other, you and a child, you and a parent, you and a boss, you and a coworker, there might be some challenging communications that are happening early on in the week. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next card here. Okay, the next card is the 5 of Physical. The cards with the red borders in the Psychic Tarot is the suit of Physical. This would be like the suit of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. So this is like the 5 of Pentacles or the 5 of Coins, the 5 of Discs, sometimes it's called. And what it says at the bottom of this one is financial and material changes. Because the physical suit, like the suit of Pentacles, deals with the earthly realm. It deals with money and finances, job and career, even home and family situations, things that are tangible, things of a material nature. And whenever we see a 5 card, whether it's the 5 of Cups, Swords, Pentacles, or Wands, it usually brings in a little bit of confusion and chaos. There's an ungrounded energy with the number 5, numerologically speaking. And again, Sun in Aquarius squaring or challenging Uranus and Taurus at the beginning of the week, along with Mercury, might bring some challenges in the material areas of our lives. Not necessarily just financially, but could be materially, financially as well. But it could be some shakeup in our job and career. It could be some shakeup in our home and family or relationship situation. Could be a shakeup with the earth changes, possibly on a collective level. Could be a shakeup in other ways on the worldwide level of what's happening and what's unfolding. So this is, again, the number 5 can bring in some uncertainty, a lack of having like a grounded, focused, clear sense of what's happening or why something's happening and why something's going on. It's interesting. I don't know exactly. I haven't kind of tuned into what this all means, but there's almost a finger in every different color here, except for there's 2 fingers here in the red arena. So we've got like the blue for the throat chakra, speaking our truth. We've got 1 finger here in the purple arena, which is like crown chakra, knowing, what's kind of happening on a spiritual level or from a spiritual perspective. We've got the red, the root chakra, kind of orange as well, root and sacral chakra, so our emotions and our sense of security. And we've got the heart chakra energy, the green, all about, again, relationships or emotions. It looks like we've got like a lot of things going on in a lot of different areas almost. So whatever this is all about, this could be happening in many different areas all at once. So we're starting out the week a little bit of challenge here with the 2 of mental and the 5 of physical. Let's see what the last card is. Okay, so the last card is Major Arcana 15. And in this deck, it's called Temptation. So again, we've got that number 5 there. We've got a little bit of that instability, chaotic, confusing. And you can kind of look at the card and see that it looks a little confusing. I'm not even sure what this exactly is, but it just, and even the image of the person itself. It's not my camera that's kind of unfocusing it. It's actually in the card. This is kind of an unfocused figure. Like they're almost like, again, that electrical energy where they're vibrating and not maybe in a very positive manner, right? We've got a lot of the dark, shadowy colors down here, red of the root chakra again. So insecurity, instability, not feeling grounded, not feeling safe maybe. This in the traditional tarot is actually the Devil card, and the Devil card can bring up our fears and our anxieties. But a lot of times those fears and anxieties are unwarranted. In other words, it's kind of like we put ourselves with our ego mind. Our ego mind is kind of taking over and saying, this is something to fear. This is something to be nervous about. This is something to be, anxious about. And I'm not saying that your emotions aren't valid, depending on what's happening in your life or on a collective level. But we have to move into this higher perspective, right? By the time that Mercury gets into Pisces, even with Mercury in Aquarius, if Mercury in Aquarius was not being challenged this week, Mercury in Aquarius sees things from a higher spiritual perspective. But it is challenged this week with Uranus. But by the time we get to the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on through the days, Mercury will be in Pisces. It doesn't necessarily mean it's more grounded. In fact, it's not grounded at all. And in fact, Mercury in Pisces, again, can be like in this place of uncertainty and things aren't clear and we're not understanding. But Pisces is the ruler of the higher spiritual realm. So if we can ask for our spiritual helpers to come in and assist us or connect to the angelic realm or meditate, do things that like visualization of something positive to bring you back into a space of feeling like, okay, whatever's going on around me, that's the earthly realm. And that's just one perspective. What's really happening for me on a higher soul level? What's happening on a higher spiritual level? I am just a soul within this physical body or physical vessel. Really, I'm a sacred, infinite soul who's divinely guided and protected by universe source God. And all of whatever's happening here, I think maybe the temptation is you're being tempted to go into fear, or tempted to go into anxiety. But this is kind of a base card where the root chakra is not balanced. So do things to help balance you this week. Take a walk out in nature, breathe in the fresh air, work with plants, work with grounding healing herbs or teas or essential oils. I just especially think the grounding out in nature. Go on a hike. Go out into the middle of nature with maybe a friend or maybe by yourself and just soak up those vibes. Sit on the earth, sit next to a tree. Even, being with a pet, like your cat or your dog. This can also be very grounding and helpful to connect to that more unconditional love aspect of the higher aspect of the universe. Interestingly enough, this looks like a key right here. It's like in this one hand, it's like he's holding this key, but he doesn't have it like in a right side up manner. It's almost like this key is dangling from his arm, where if he just picked up the key and maybe, put it in the proper doorway at the proper time and turned the key or whatever, some solution might appear. So I feel like there's a need or an opportunity to look for a solution to move ourselves out of all of this anxiety and fear and feelings of uncertainty. Okay. So it looks like it may be a little bit of a challenging week. Let's see what messages of guidance we have from our angels and guides from, the Moonology. The Moonology Oracle cards. Okay, so the first stone of choice, take a deep breath here and ground and center, but the first stone of choice is the black tourmaline, So as we shuffle here, now I'll shuffle on camera, and we'll choose a message for the black tourmaline people for this week. Okay, I gotta say two are standing out, so we'll look at both of them. So it looks like it's time to take action. Okay, we've got the card that says new moon in Aries, actually. So new moons are about new beginnings. Aries is about action, planting new seeds. So it's time to take action on something new. Something is in the very beginning phases of moving forward or being expressed or growing, if you will. Maybe it's a project, maybe it's an idea of where you want to move or a new career or job or whatever it might be. So it's time to take some sort of action towards that, okay? The card that came out with it, or that I was drawn to also pull, says that this is the full moon in Cancer. Maybe I should have read it the other way around, right? Because it says a personal issue reaches resolution, or you could say reaches a completion phase. So we have a personal issue reaches resolution or completion. Might be something that deals with home and family, might deal with the emotional realm, the emotional body, something where you're emotionally or have felt emotionally attached to is coming to a completion or resolution. So maybe this is probably the first card to be looked at, because then after that is the new beginning with the new moon in Aries, where we take action on something new, something different, a new path. Okay, we're going to put those back in the deck. And the second stone of choice is the abalone shell. So abalone shell people, special message for abalone shell. Abalone shell. Okay, so I feel like we need to pull two cards for everybody. And those two cards stood out to me. So let's see what they are and maybe what order they should be in. Okay, so you guys got two full moons here. I think this one makes sense that it's first. This is full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign, it's an earth sign of the zodiac that deals with the earthly realm, material things in our life, manifested things in our life. And it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. So a full moon is always about endings, completion, releasing, letting go, healing. And whereas the previous message was the full moon in Cancer, which was more about a completion on an emotional body level, this is more of a completion on a material level. Job, career, goals, money, finances, something that's tangible and in actuality in your life, right? So the end of a tough cycle approaches. The end of a tough cycle approaches. And what came out with it was another full moon. And it's the full moon in Pisces. And this says balance spirituality and practicality. So whereas the Capricorn full moon is all about practicality, right? It's definitely more practical and grounded with Capricorn. But Pisces is more spiritual, intuitive, creative, trusting. It's about faith. It's about surrender. So we're needing to merge the practical and the spiritual here. We're balancing the spirituality with the practicality of whatever the ending of this cycle is all about. We're still in an ending completion cycle, but maybe there's something, again, ending on a tangible level, but we're also needing to look at it from an intuitive spiritual level, like what was the lesson learned? What did my soul learn in this cycle? And now, once I'm completing this and bringing healing to this on both a practical earthly level and a spiritual higher level, pretty soon I'll be able to get to that point where I can release it and let it go and move forward into something new. But you're heavily in this releasing sort of energy with the abalone shell people. The last stone of choice was the K2. Let's see which 2 cards come out for the K2 people. So K2, special message for the week. K2 people. Okay, this one definitely is one of the cards. I don't see the other one yet, so I'm going to shuffle just a little bit more. K2, the other card for the K2 people, this one. All right, so let's take a look at these messages here for you. Okay, so we're back to, you guys got the full moon in Cancer as well. So the black tourmaline people got the full moon in Cancer. There's a lot of full moons that came out, and this deck doesn't just have full moons in it. So a lot of completion energies going on here this week for every one of the stones of choice. But we're back to the full moon in Cancer. So we're back to, again, a releasing, ending, completion, closure on an emotional body level with some emotion, some feeling, emotional pattern, relationship, home and family situation, because all of those things would be in that emotional realm, things that we're really emotionally attached to. It says a personal issue reaches resolution. So again, same as that first stone. A personal issue reaches resolution. So something is coming to an end that deals again with something, someone that you're emotionally attached to. And again, it could be your own like feelings and emotions and psychological patterns, something within the subconscious of your psyche. Don't discount that it could also be about like job, career, or a place that you've lived all your life and now you have to move, because you might be emotionally attached to those things as well. It can be anything that you feel really kind of an emotional attachment to with that Cancer full moon energy. So some sort of personal issue reaches resolution. The second card was the void of course moon. The void of course moon, what void of course moon means is that the moon gets to a certain stage going through a particular sign of the zodiac. It goes through each sign of the zodiac in about 2.5 days. But when it gets to a certain spot with traveling through that sign, that particular sign, where it makes no other major aspects to any other planets, it's considered void of course. It doesn't make any other connections for the rest of its travels through that sign at a certain point. So it's almost like there's a void. That's why it's called void of course moon. It almost feels like there's like you're in the void, like nothing's being activated, okay? And it says nothing will come of this situation. So it almost feels like a message of whatever the emotional attachment is, something that you have to emotionally complete, release, heal, or let go. Your angels and guides want you to know that if you continue trying to attach yourself to it, if you continue to try to still continue to be emotionally attached to whatever this is, and again, maybe it's, even something within yourself, again, like an addiction to something or an obsession with something or whatever, they want you to know that nothing's going to come of this. This is not for you. This is not where your energy needs to be focused. You need to be able to release and let go and heal whatever this is and allow yourself to kind of be in the void for a moment, be in the nothingness for a moment. It's within the nothingness that something can occur, that something can be born. It's in that space in between, So you might be in a space in between for a time. You might be in a void kind of state for a time after this releasing happens for you. So don't feel, it might feel a little scary, a little unnerving in a sense to be in this state of nothingness or void before the actualization of the new beginning. Okay, so no, there's a pause. It's like being in a pause energy. But again, it almost seems like with the phrase, nothing will come of this situation, means that whatever this attachment, this emotional attachment is, your angels and guides want you to know that this is not where you need to be. Nothing, that's not a part of your next step on your soul's evolution and growth. It's not in alignment with you anymore. So needing to move on is kind of called for at this time. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in for the weekly energy forecast. Sending you all lots of love and light, and especially this week, a lot of healing, grounding energy. I will see you next week, sending you many blessings. Until then, namaste.